Got this friend and his name is Mike, and he can never make up his mind. And then he's got this cute girl and her name is Sue, but she never knows what to do. And when they want to go to the show, yeah, they never know where to go. He says, hey baby, what you want to do? She says, I don't know. He says, come on baby, what should I do? He says, I never make decisions. Come on baby. He says, hey, come on, what should I do? She says, I don't care, I don't care, I don't know, I don't mind. I don't know, I don't mind, and I don't care, and I ain't got decisions on my mind.
Tell Peter he's on in 15 seconds.
Simple, yet satisfying.
What are you doing? Just staring.
Come on, guys, no more spitwads on the set.
Baby! Ready on cue.
All right, here we go.
Quiet on the set. Quiet in the dark.
It's showtime.
Get ready to jam, man. Let's get ready to jam.
What's happening, people, and welcome to the Jam. Get ready for a wild ride into the science of risk management and decision making. See, every day you have to make choices. Some will be easy and some will be hard. However, if you learn to look at these decisions scientifically, analyze your options, you'll find yourself in a better position to make the successful choice.
Paranoia man to earth, paranoia man to earth. I'm back one more time, and I'm trying to make some of the most important decisions of my life, called decision-making skills. How do you make decisions? Because all the experts means they were formerly perks before they were experts. Yes, they told me that we got to use one side of our brain, either the left side or the right side. One side thinks logically, the other side thinks creatively. Me, they just kind of mash into this blur thing, and every time I try to think and this hairdo thing gets too tight, my eye rolls into the back of my head and I forget my last name. She loves me. She loves me not. The main purpose of this whole process is that I need to learn how to make decisions. But for some reason, there's some kind of aneurysm in my head. Where do your decisions come from? Because if you can't left brain it, and you can't right brain it, and you can't be a no brain it, where will all that come from? Because until I can tap it into my brain, I'm just gonna stick my finger where it counts.
Whether you're trying to plan your own future or the future of the entire human race, the decision process is roughly the same. Looking at the decision with the scientific eye will help you to make the best choice.
Get ready.
What's the real problem? Try writing it down in 1 or 2 sentences. If you can't, you haven't thought it through.
Nice one.
What are the possible outcomes? Do your research. Talk to others who've had similar experiences. Are you willing to take the risk? Come up with as many outcomes as you can. What is the result of each solution you've come up with? Think and write it down. We all have that little voice inside that tells us if what we want to do is right or wrong. You have to be able to live with any decision you make. Make the decision, stand by it, and believe you made the right choice. See what happens. If your decision doesn't work, change it if you can. Otherwise, learn from your mistakes. Don't beat yourself up over it. You made the best choice you could. Grow from the experience.
Is my double latte here yet?
When it comes to risk and making quick decisions, there's nothing better than drag racing.
It's not just who crosses the finish line first. You have to analyze weather factors, car speed, and track conditions. Then decide how fast your car can go. The risks include your personal safety and damage to your car.
What is it like to be a girl that drag races?
It's pretty fun.
Do the boys make fun of you?
No, not at all.
They don't mind racing against you? Does it make them mad when you beat them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just competing with people from all around the country is fun. For instance, we're from the East Coast. I met a lot of friends from California this weekend. It's pretty fun.
Are you safe in the car? Do you feel safe, or do you get scared that you're going to get hurt?
I feel it's pretty safe because we have to wear all the stuff like the big guys wear.
Well, of course, we have seat belts, and then we wear a protective helmet, fire jacket, gloves, arm restraints to keep your hands from coming out of the car, and a neck brace to keep your head from flopping all around.
How do you decide what your dial-in is going to be?
It depends. You have 3 time trials. Time trial is to give you practice with the car, and you see what you've run there, and you try to go around what you've ran. But if you go faster than your dial-in, then you break out and you lose.
It's never really a sure guess, but you try to figure it out by putting your other runs together and just picking a good guess. We have a humidity and temperature gauge and altitude tester. We write down what it is each time trial, then we match up the weather now to the time trial.
What makes the car go faster? What makes it go slower as far as the weather?
Lower humidity and lower altitude. More air is fast for better horsepower.
How about racing? How do you get a good light?
I usually watch the third bulb, and as soon as that's coming on, I hit the gas and I go.
Well, I used to count the lights, 1, 2, 3. But now I just watch the last show light and cut the other lights out.
You go before the third yellow comes on and go red light.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I've done that.
Have you?
Often.
A lot. Yeah. Do you watch the other driver when you're racing?
Well, if he's a faster car, I just have to look around to see if I can see him creeping up on me or not.
Is that hard to decide?
Yeah, it's hard to decide, but you gotta make that decision.
Do you have a lot of time? Do you have like an hour to think about it and decide what you're gonna do?
Actually, you have under a second to decide.
So that's what it's like to go down the track at 80 miles an hour at Indianapolis.
You probably didn't realize it, but you've been learning how to manage risk since the day you were born.
Don't you ever talk to strangers. Remember to look both ways before crossing the street, boy. Don't you put that in your mouth, boy, you might swallow it.
And the one I used to get all the time.
Keita, that dog is gonna bite you if you keep trying to put that dress on him.
Well, I've learned my lesson, and hopefully you will too. Risk management is how we try to protect ourselves. Yes, it covers physical harm, but it's also about the decisions we make in our own lives and the risks we're willing to take. Later.
And now, great moments and bad judgment.
Oh, well, hi-de-ho there, friends. Just tickling the old 88 here, and I don't mean my grandmother. Just thinking about some of the greatest blunders of all time. Here's one of my favorites. High school junior Jarvis Fechner had a little bit of a slight burning sensation in that special area where the sun don't shine. So he went to his family medicine cabinet to try and find a soothing balm. Fortunately, he found something that seemed to cool the area. Unfortunately, it was his grandmother's denture adhesive. He'll be cheek to cheek for the next few moments.
Okay, it's time for the real stuff. Every day, you're hit with hundreds of conflicting messages.
Bye, it's him, it's now, it's radical, dude.
Voices of authority telling you the right way.
When you cook with this, it's a big fat deal.
All trying to steer your thinking in a certain direction.
You can't live without it.
Somebody want to mop that up?
Live the good life.
Do you blindly follow these voices, or do you weigh the facts, check the risks, and make your own decision?
We all make lots of decisions. Some affect only us, others might affect the planet. Do you get up at your regular time for school, or do you sleep in and risk being late? Do you go cliff diving in Mexico, or do you jump out of that plane? Do we continue cloning research because of the possible medical breakthroughs, or is the risk of abuse great enough to ban it altogether? And when you really think about it, how many versions of you do you want walking around anyway?
The fact is, every action we take in life involves making decisions and analyzing the risks involved. It's not always easy, but it's our choices that can make a big difference.
Hello?
I know what you did last week.
What?
I know where you like to surf.
Excuse me, who is this? I don't even own a board.
Surfing the web, you ditz. You read Keen Teen online and love the Backwards Boys. You even spend 3 hours a day in their chat room.
Who is this? How do you know that?
Cool your jets. Your little online journeys are just a roadmap to follow.
Why would anyone care what sites I access?
All those surveys, all those memberships, all those CDs you've been buying online. What's with that? Most of those sites have sold your profile to anyone who wants it.
Yeah, right.
That's right. Surfing through sites, giving any information they ask you for, and questioning nothing. Once you find something that you want, it's fill out the order form. And that's exactly how they want it.
As if you're saying I'm not safe, and that's not true. I only give out little information about myself, nothing big. nobody gets hurt, right?
Girl, don't you have a warning light in that head somewhere? It may be a small amount of information, but it's all they need. This is the information age.
Wrong again, phone freak. The only reason why they wanted my name, number, and address was so that they could send me my free backwards voice tattoo. And you still haven't told me who you are.
Haven't you figured it out yet?
What do you mean?
Can I interest you in our new long-distance service, ma'am?
Welcome to the age of the cyber marketer. You are being categorized, itemized, and demographically organized so that businesses can sell you their goods and services. And the information you give out shows what you like and what you buy. Mostly, stuff like this is used for market research, like figuring out the next fashion craze.
It's a beautiful thing.
But there is a potential risk with all that information lurking out there. It's called identity theft. That's when someone gains access to your credit card numbers, checking account, driver's license. They become you and start stealing your money. You might not have all those things yet, but your parents sure do. And it's probably on your computer. So be wise. Before you fill out any online forms, make sure you check the site's policy on selling your profile. Never give out important numbers unless the form is secure and encrypted. And never give out your address or other information in a chat room. Enough said.
The information on the web is truly worldwide. It's immense. But does that mean that it's all going to be high quality? Does it stand to reason that it's going to be high quality information? No, it doesn't. Anyone can publish anything on the net, so be careful. Garbage in, garbage out. Now, that's an old phrase. It goes way back to the 70s when they had mainframe computers, but it's really true. If garbage is pumped into it, what you're going to do when you get your research back is get a bunch of garbage you've got to wade through. There are web pages out there that haven't been updated in years. So you've got to stop and look. What was the date of the web page? When was it last updated? Is there a copyright on the page somewhere? The World Wide Web is the world's soapbox, and anybody can get on it. Who wrote the site? What is their perspective? What's their background? What are they trying to get across here? When you're finished reading the page, does it seem like they tried to convince you of some type of an idea? Do they give you a list of sources they used? This is a traditional way, one of the major ways you check print material. The only control you really have is your own street smarts. And basically, it's got to be a web smart. When you're street smart, you're aware of your surroundings, you're keeping an eye out for danger. The same thing goes with the internet. You simply can't turn your brain off when you get onto the web and assume that anything you see on that screen is accurate.
A virus is a computer code inside a program or a file. Some are harmless. They might put up a funny message on a certain date. Others can be a bit more destructive. The virus called Melissa tied up networks and choked computers by sending out infected emails. Melissa's spread as people opened attached files that contained the virus.
But you can fight back.
Run virus protection software on your computer and keep it updated. Never open an email from someone you don't know or download an attachment you weren't expecting. It's risk management, and sometimes it just takes a little common sense.
Facts are the best weapons against uncontrolled hysteria.
And it's for these compelling reasons, Senator, that I feel it is of the utmost urgency that we proceed ASAP with Project Rock Zapper.
So let me get this straight, gentlemen. You want to spend $850 million to build some laser thing that is going to disintegrate meteors before they actually reach the Earth?
Well, now, no. Yes, that is exactly what I'm asking.
Because you believe that the threat that Earth is actually going to be hit is imminent.
Now, Senator, I don't have to tell you, you watch the movies. You know all it takes is one big sweeping tidal wave and it's goodbye, San Diego. Hello, wet San Diego.
Yeah, right, General. Can you get
Now, Senator, I don't think you are sensing the urgency of this situation. There are big old pieces of rocks out there and they're just whizzing. That's what they're doing, they're whizzing. They are just whizzing by and they are trying to find themselves without any rhyme or reason. The whizzing technically doesn't rhyme with anything but whizzing. They are trying to find themselves a big old planet that they can just, swoosh, and just smack it and spank it. That's what they want.
I don't know. I just think we're spending an awful lot of money.
Well, you know, we've also got one of them big lip super rock groups that's gonna record a, popular song. The kids will really love it. And I don't want to miss my tang. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me, Senator, if I may.
Yes, McGuire.
So, General, you're actually saying that one of these meteors is going to hit the Earth and that it's necessary for us to build one of these laser thingies?
Miss, I unabashedly stand by my proposal, Agent Sir.
Well, General, if I might point out some scientific probabilities that the actual chance of it hitting the Earth is 1 in 10 to the 6th power. And actually, no human in the past 1,000 years has been hit or even killed by a meteor.
Okay, wait. No human in the last 1,000 years. Well, excuse me, panel, for thinking that is just a little bit naive of you to think. I know it's not something you want to talk about, but deep down in those places that we don't want to touch, we don't want to talk about, like in that little area of your navel where you stick your finger digging for lint and you go, you know what I'm talking about?
General, please.
Go ahead. You just go ahead and you let downtown Detroit get destroyed by the downtown Detroit. And the monkeys come and they put the Statue of Liberty and it's destroyed and there's people, soylent greedy people.
Well, the National Children's Film Festival is a program that gives young people an opportunity to express what is of concern and interest to them. It's not as threatening as getting a message across to another person standing right in front of you. It also allows them to use critical thinking skills and to work in groups and teams.
The film that I did for the National Children's Film Festival, it was a film called Freedom. One thing that really surprised me that was difficult in making my film was, I guess, getting people to accept what I was trying to do. Before I entered the film festival, even though I wanted to be a filmmaker, I didn't think I could do it. But then one day I decided, hey, I'm just gonna go out, I'm gonna give it my all, and I'm just gonna try and do it. And I think all that pays off in the end.
It's called Things Aren't As They Seem, and our film is about these three characters who have a superficial life, and then below that they have like a life that is not as it seems. I used to be a really indecisive person. I wasn't able to make a clear decision, but now with this I've been able to get more on top of it.
You have to be very, very meticulous, I think, to be a filmmaker. You have to weigh all the pros and cons. You have to look at everything. The first step, and definitely the most difficult step that I went through in making my film, was the pre-production, the writing of the script, the planning.
I get together with some of my good friends that are writers, and I brainstorm with them, and we figure out what kind of concept or video we want to do. We write it, and we come up with a full script, and then revise it, and then prepare to shoot, and then revise it again. We have to determine whether we can realistically pull those off in time, or if we can actually do it so they look good.
I think that they are taking a big risk because they are out there and they're talking, I think, about their feelings and emotions. It's a life-changing experience.
Take a risk and to do whatever your heart desires.
It's just great and fun to come out here and shoot a movie, to have like a common goal for everybody.
Let's review this whole decision process thing. What's the decision? Think it through and write it down. Think of all the possible outcomes and the end result of each. Be sure to do your research. Okay, it's time to make the decision. See what happens. If it's not working out, fix it if you can. Otherwise, learn from your mistakes. So get out there and think smart.
Here's the big picture. There are a million ways to make decisions. You can look at a situation this way, or this way, or this way,
or this way, or that way, or this way, or even this way,
or this way. But things often have a better way of turning out when you look at them logically. Weigh your risks and benefits, and quickly calculate which outweighs which. All I'm saying is, look long and hard before you leap.
Yeah! Good morning, sports fans. Move over, Jeff Gordon. Slide aside, Tiger Woods. Get out of here, Dominique Mochaluco, or all you little gymnast babes at the age of 13. There's a new king and queen of sports right here. It's time for me to do the most extreme of all extreme events, and I'm talking about rocket-powered paracycling. Yeah! That's right. Me and my faithful engineer friend Bucky, don't ask how he got his name, it stems back to third grade insults as a child. We have manufactured this cycle to be fully accomplished with a 3,600 horsepower multi-stage C4 engine that will launch me from 0 to 80 miles per hour in just between 2 and 3 seconds. Oh my word! How can this be accomplished? Why would I do what others have considered foolhardy? Who are those 2 Cuban refugees living in my apartment? I do not know, but I do know this. I have weighed the options. I have considered every arrangement, and all I know is when I do this, chicks won't be able to keep their hands off of me.
You know there's a lot of trees before you hit the end of the cliff.
Oh, ye of little faith. Don't you know that this is an accomplishment that any of us can do at any given time at all? I've got 1 bike, 2 wheels, we've got the trajectory in 1 area, and you can quote me, we'll be heading off into perfect nirvana. It even smells like Teen Spirit.
Sir Isaac Newton's third law of motion. Every action has an equal or opposite reaction. Isn't that amazing, children?
In other words, not even an airbag is going to help him if he hits those trees.
All right, Bucky, throw the switch.
You know, I like you, but you're pretty stupid.
Ha ha! Let's kick this mother out. Say, oh, for the love of Pete! Mommy, 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 mommy.
Told you so.